Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you live from WWE Hell in the Cell 2017. Show kicked off with one hell of a matchup. Might as well have been called War Games. War Games making its return to WWE finally after a 20-year absence. At the next NXT coming to you before Survivor Series. But Hell in the Cell, the Usos versus the New Day. This is the last time that we're going to see these guys go at it for a long time. This was one hell of a match. Like I said, they should have found a way to get Kofi involved in the Cell. There was one point in the match when Big E was running around with a member of the Usos, slamming him into the Cell, and I thought that was going to be their exit strategy. But then they would have had to find a way to repair the Cell before the final match of the night with Shane and Kevin Owens. But this was one hell of a way to kick off the show. Let me honestly tell you that this show is going to start, and I thought we were going to get like Randy Orton versus Rusev, or one of the matches that just I didn't really have high expectations for. I needed to go in there and make a blended drink, and I'll show you that throughout the show. But I was like, fuck it, I'm not missing a minute of this match, and they deserved it. This was a great match. The Usos, 5 times tag champions now by winning this match. And I know they won them, bouncing them back a few times to the New Day, but they deserve it. One hell of a run for these guys. 17 years, no, not 17. 7 years plus in WWE. I know they debuted somewhere around SummerSlam 2010. It is where I saw them, I'm pretty sure, for the first time. But one hell of a match. I mean, right off the bat, basically, the Usos, go under the ring to grab steel chairs. New Day runs out. Xavier Woods grabbed a kendo stick. We had Big E just flat out grabbing a chain. Like this was going to be a 4 horseman beatdown. This match, honestly, had everything. Even, a huge symbol at one point. We had cowbell. But I did think that, there was a little bit too much comedy in this match. I know that we're in the PG era for WWE, but this was one hell of a match. I thought the New Day was messing around a little bit too much, especially when the symbol and the cowbell came out. I know that you got to have, a little bit of everything in there, but fun stuff. I mean, stuff we had never seen before. Obviously, we'd never seen... Oh, I was going to say we've never seen a tag team match, but we did have the DX versus the McMahons and Big Show. But at one point, I think it was Jimmy Uso got tied up in the corner involving 5 kendo sticks, where basically they just pinned him in the corner and then shoved kendo sticks into the cage, making it where he couldn't move. Although Xavier Woods went for a high spot off of the top rope, and we had him busting loose and breaking that up. Not sure if it's the first time we've ever seen handcuffs, but Xavier Woods was handcuffed, and then he was sort of tied up around the corner where he was beat with kendo sticks by both members of the Usos. But that was where Big E finally got his big comeback, and he basically was just seeing red, as they said, and just slamming people all around. Just making sure that the New Day came out on top, but the Usos pulled it out. A big victory for them. Like I said, 5-time champions. I think my neighbor's barbecuing some chicken. That's the only thing I can think about right now. And it smells really damn good. I gotta go make that drink. Hopefully Hell in the Cell will live up to it. But one hell of a way to kick off the show with that big match. Next up, we're going to be having that triple threat with Ty Dillinger, AJ Styles, and Baron Corbin for the United States title. So we'll see what that match brings for us. Alright, we got another title change here at Hell in the Cell 2017 as Baron Corbin escapes to the United States Championship. In the last few minutes of the WWE pre-show, they kick off for Hell in the Cell 2017. We had Daniel Bryan adding Ty Dillinger to the United States Championship match, making this a 3-way, seeing how Dillinger had beat both AJ and Baron Corbin on the way to Hell in the Cell. Daniel Bryan thought that was a good enough way to get him in there. Just moments before the show went live, I updated my prediction video basically saying that I thought that Baron Corbin would now win, overcoming the odds, win the United States Championship at Hell in the Cell. where AJ Styles would then sort of leave the United States title picture. He had a good run with the belt. I mean, it's not anything of a knock on him, but I'm always going to see him as a top-level kind of guy. More than likely, we have Nakamura beating Jinder Mahal for the WWE Championship later in the show tonight. So maybe, they go with this sort of dream match of seeing AJ versus Shinsuke Nakamura inside of WWE. There was a lot of people pushing for that to be a WrestleMania match at WrestleMania 33. Seeing how just earlier at Wrestle Kingdom in New Japan, they had a great match there in one of the co-main events of that show. So a lot of different directions they could be going. Baron Corbin more than likely now going into a program with just Ty Dillinger one-on-one over the United States title. But this was a really, really good match. And one of the highlights to me was honestly when there was a Pele kick from AJ Styles to Ty Dillinger, and Ty Dillinger ended up falling right on top of Baron Corbin, which almost ended up becoming what was going to be enough to end the match with a 1-2-3 right there in the middle of the ring, as Corey Graves put it, falling right into the United States Championship. But this was a really, really good match. The first singles championship for Baron Corbin in WWE. Of course, he will always be known as the Andre the Giant Memorial winner. Anytime you can win a battle royal or win a match, or the Andre the Giant Memorial isn't really treated like a championship, but it is always something that's going to be brought up in history of who won it. To win that in your debut match on the main roster, let alone that being at WrestleMania, you can tell that this guy is going to be a big deal. Baron Corbin took a big hit, last month or maybe the month before, with basically saying that he had heat in the company, basically saying that he had done something to make some people mad, and to sort of squash that, Baron Corbin's push was killed a little bit, where he had to drop the Money in the Bank briefcase, failing to cash in, and then also losing to John Cena in the matter of a week at SummerSlam on pay-per-view. So we'll see where this goes for him. I'm not going to say this is going to be the rebirth of the United States Championship. Obviously, AJ just had a really good run with it. Before him was Kevin Owens, and those guys had a good battle over it. So we'll see where we go, but Hell in a Cell continues. I got some Feel the Pink, Ultimate Warrior, sort of Sujin Komen. Keep the faith, people. Man, oh man, here we are at good old Hell in a Cell 2017. Natalya going up against Charlotte. Basically, Charlotte set the tone of this match, basically with their promo, basically saying that she was coming back to wrestling. She took a little bit of a break for a book tour, as well as the same time of her book tour, her father, Ric Flair, one of the biggest legends in the history of wrestling, gets really sick. I mean, a lot of people out there really thought we were going to lose him, and he made a tremendous comeback. The best way people put it is that he kicked out at the 2, and he's still with us. So Charlotte basically came back and said that she wanted to go after Natalya's championship, and she won. I believe it was a fatal 4-way to become the number 1 contender, and she came into Hell in a Cell, and this was supposed to be the night that she was going to reclaim the championship, and she did everything she could. She threw caution into the wind, basically doing the big moonsault off of the top rope to the outside, taking down Natalya, and Natalya just pretty much ends it with a chair shot to the knee. Charlotte will win the match via disqualification, but Natalya keeps the belt. The only thing I can think of is that they better have the title change happen at Starrcade. The not even pay-per-view or WWE Network special that's going to be on the network. Just a stupid house show. But I want this. I would give anything to be at the Starrcade. I know we've made countless videos talking about it. But that will be Charlotte's next chance at the championship. If she doesn't get one via television sooner than later. But this pay-per-view, or not even pay-per-view, I keep wanting to call it that, but this house show that I want to see so badly, Starrcade 2017, the return to Greensboro, that's not even going to be on the network or on SmackDown or on anything. is her next shot. She better win it then. I'll take it anyway, even if it's just a picture put on the screen. Charlotte won the belt. Take it or leave it. I'll take it and I'll love it. So, disqualification ends it tonight, but there sure is more to come from Charlotte versus Natalya. How does this continue? This makes no sense at all. For the third pay-per-view in a row, Jinder Mahal beats Shinsuke Nakamura. I honestly have no clue what the fuck they're doing, and I apologize about that. I know that they want you to cut down on cussing on YouTube, and it's only freaking Hell in the Cell, but I'm looking back at the replay, and it still doesn't make any sense. To me, honestly, I know you don't have to have the championship to be a star, because honestly, look at Jinder Mahal with that championship right now. He's not a star. I mean, that's easily the best way to put it. Nakamura should be the number one guy in the company. And to me, honestly, I understand putting somebody on the chase. But you have to give somebody a taste of what, as a fan, we're watching them chase. He has to have a championship in order for us to feel like this guy, he should be the number one guy in the company, if not in the top 5, and he can't even beat Jinder Mahal. It honestly doesn't make any sense to me. Why he can't get a win? Basically, the match comes down to Nakamura, having the advantage in the match, and the Singh brothers keep on interfering. The referee tries to kick out the Singh brothers, and when he finally does, Nakamura is able to hit basically the Kinshaw, and when he does, the Singh brothers fake they're going to run back down to the ring. The referee has to get back out of the ring to stop them. Once he makes into the ring, Jinder Mahal's able to grab the rope to break the count, and then freaking just Mahal hit Nakamura with this finisher. 1, 2, 3, and it's over. This makes no sense. I'm sure Ravi is still throwing freaking confetti all over Justin right now as they watch this match. 3 wins in a row for Jinder Mahal. I got no clue. Why Sami Zayn? Why? That honestly was probably the most shocking ending to a WWE Hell in a Cell match that I possibly can remember off the top of my head. We all knew that this fight in the cell was going to be a big rivalry. McMahon versus Owens, Shane fighting for his family, not only for his kids but for Vince. But where does Sami Zayn fit into all of this? This is something that honestly, Shane might not be, having any more matches for a while, but where does the whole storyline revolve with Owens and Sami? Them getting back together? Why does Sami want to? Is it that he wanted to help Kevin Owens? It wasn't that Owens' career was on the line. I mean, he could have just easily lost the match. Was Owens thinking that? I'm sorry. Was Sami thinking that this was gonna kill him? And even though they had the rivalry, that they were friends, and he wanted to save him, even if it meant he had to turn against Shane, who brought him to SmackDown. I mean, this is the end of one of the WWE pay-per-views where there's more questions than answers. And I mean, that's what keeps you tuning in. That's going to make you want to tune in on SmackDown. But I honestly don't even know what to think. The match was in Shane's hands. Basically, Shane and Kevin Owens had fought up the cage. And they fought on the top of the cage. for an eternity. They probably had more of the match on top of the cell than they did anywhere else in the ring or in the cell. The match didn't even start in the cell. Basically, Shane attacked Owens before he could even get inside of the cell. And then once they were finally locked in, Shane made it a point to try and get outside by using bolt cutters that he'd hid underneath the ring to bust his way out. I have no clue. Once they were done fighting and Owens was trying to make his escape, Shane caught up to him. About halfway down the cell, they did the bump off of the back of the cage through the announce table. And Owens was down. Owens was down for an extended, long period of time. Shane finally got down, and everyone was begging, just pin the man. Just pin. Owens was, had been checked out by the EMTs, who said he was fine, but he hadn't moved in forever. And Shane instead picked Owens up, put him on top of another announce table, climbed to the top of the cell, and much like WrestleMania 32, jumped off. But you couldn't honestly tell the first time. I mean, you knew that Owens was dead, but Owens didn't get hit by Shane. And it took the announcers to play the replay to show that someone had moved him. You could see the flash of somebody coming into the screen, but you couldn't tell who it was until you got a different angle, and there he was. Sami Zayn, revealed as the man. I don't know. I'm speechless. I honestly have no clue. I mean, this is one for the ages that we're gonna have to see what they're doing. We got we got Talking Smack coming up after the show, but there's no way in the world that they're going to interview Sami. There's no way in the world they can interview Owens. So we got to wait till SmackDown. I'll see you guys on Tuesday.